Imagine standing on the very edge of a massive cliff, watching a panicked crowd of people blindly jump off into the dark because some random person on the internet told them the ship was sinking. That is exactly the level of absolute, unadulterated madness happening in the global camera world right now. People are literally panic selling their entire, high-end Nikon Z-mount setups for absolute pennies on the dollar. They are practically throwing away elite, professional glass because the online tech echo chamber completely convinced them that Nikon is bleeding cash, losing the tech war, and headed straight toward bankruptcy. If you fell for that trap, saw those negative forum posts, and listed your gear on eBay, you just made a massive, incredibly expensive mistake. Stop believing the doom and gloom right now. The internet is completely wrong, and the masses are being played by sensationalized headlines. The latest official midterm financial reports and secret tech supply chain leaks just exposed Nikon's actual, highly classified internal roadmap through the year 2030, and it is absolutely insane. We are staring down the barrel of 10 brand new lenses every single year. We are getting a completely new, hyper-premium retro-inspired rangefinder that will make street photographers drool and destroy Fujifilm's artificial market dominance. Most importantly, the historic Red Digital Cinema acquisition is officially bearing fruit, and we are getting a true, red-powered cinema hybrid monster that will permanently destroy the competition and rewrite the rules of filmmaking forever. So, do you hold on to your current daily driver with an iron grip? Or do you start aggressively saving every single penny for the ultimate vintage beast? Let me break down exactly what the top industry insiders are leaking today, because Nikon is officially on the warpath and turning the tables on every other manufacturer in the game. For the last few weeks, the online camera community has been screaming that Nikon was dead in the water, and YouTube thumbnails were filled with red arrows and funeral graphics. But DG Times just deeply analyzed the official corporate annual report, and the actual reality is completely different from the internet drama. Nikon is not dying. In fact, they are thriving in ways their competitors cannot even comprehend. They pushed almost 1 million camera bodies, specifically 910,000 mirrorless units driven by the massive success of the Z5 Z52, and the groundbreaking ZR cinema camera, alongside a staggering 1.3 million high-end lenses into the market this past fiscal year alone. Those are absolutely not the numbers of a dying or bankrupt company. But the real shocker that sent shockwaves through the industry is buried in their brand new midterm strategy document covering the fiscal years 2026 through 2030. Ross Young, an insider who has been flawlessly tracking optical display supply chains for years, recently hinted at a massive, unprecedented production scale-up in specialized optical components. Well, Nikon just put that exact plan in black and white for the entire world to see. They are officially targeting over 80 high-performance lenses in their active native lineup by the year 2030. Right now, they sit at around 52 active lenses. If you do the math, that means they are going to physically design, manufacture, and release almost 30 brand new lenses in just 3.5 years. That breaks down to nearly 10 lenses every single year. The sheer volume of new professional glass coming to the Z-mount is totally unprecedented in modern photography history. When you combine that massive optical library with the raw processing power of modern computing, your post-production workflow is going to change forever, leaving Sony and Canon users completely scrambling to keep up with your turnaround times. But the most exciting confirmation in this entire financial document is exactly what the hardcore photography purists have been begging for since the day the Z system launched. Macotakara has been reporting on heritage designs for months, dropping subtle hints that went largely ignored by the mainstream tech press. Now, Nikon is officially stating on paper that they will heavily leverage heritage-inspired designs to drive massive new sales and emotional value. We are officially getting another retro camera, but do not mistake this for a simple, lazy incremental update. The leaks strongly suggest Nikon is developing a highly premium, ultra-luxury retro-inspired rangefinder camera, drawing design cues from the legendary vintage Nikon S series or the iconic F3. We do not know for sure yet if it will feature a fixed premium prime lens like the wildly popular Fujifilm X106, or if it will fully support interchangeable Z-mount lenses. But the structural blueprint is officially confirmed in their corporate goals. Honestly, a fixed-lens Z-mount rangefinder with Nikon's optical superiority would sell out instantly worldwide, creating waiting lists that span multiple years. I will believe they can truly beat Fuji's absolute retro dominance when I actually hold this metallic beast in my hands. But the threat to Fuji's lifestyle camera market share is very real and dangerous. Are you holding out for a premium retro Nikon rangefinder? Or do you think they should strictly focus their budget on heavy professional sports bodies? This physical design shift is going to be heavily due in the community for months to come. Speaking of professional sports bodies, we absolutely have to talk about the bleeding-edge silicon powering these future monsters. Ming-Chi Kuo is always obsessively tracking TSMC 3nm wafer yields for Apple Silicon. But that exact same level of advanced fabrication is going to massively impact Nikon's next flagship camera release. The midterm plan explicitly focuses on heavily enhanced core processing performance. Mark Gurman frequently talks about how aging processors heavily bottleneck hardware and ruin the modern user experience. The truth is, the current Expeed chip is getting incredibly old in rapid technology years. This supply chain data directly points to the highly anticipated Z9 Mark II featuring the brand new, unannounced Expeed 8 processor. We are expecting a massive, earth-shattering jump in predictive autofocus, deep neural network artificial intelligence tracking, and raw data throughput. This next-gen silicon will easily avoid any severe thermal throttling, even when you are shooting heavy, uncompressed raw bursts in the middle of a scorching summer day. The supply chain leaks do not stop at full-frame sensors either. Shrimp Apple Pro has noted that to actively support diversifying customers, Nikon is looking at the bigger picture of the market. They are aggressively developing a high-end, professional APS-C body to finally act as the true spiritual successor to the legendary, iconic D500. Imagine a 26-megapixel stacked APS-C sensor paired with their legendary 100 to 300mm lens. When you factor in the crop multiplication factor and a standard teleconverter, you are looking at an effective 900mm equivalent field of view that easily fits inside a standard backpack. It would instantly become the absolute ultimate birding, wildlife, and field sports camera on the entire planet. It would completely wipe the floor with the heavier, vastly more expensive full-frame competition, giving solo shooters a literal cheat code for compressed background reach without breaking their backs or bank accounts. Finally, we absolutely have to talk about the filmmakers because the historic Red Digital Cinema acquisition is officially bearing massive fruit. The industry previously covered the initial corporate buyout with a lot of skepticism, but now Nikon is publicly stating they will actively combine the unique strengths of Nikon and Red to develop brand new digital cinema cameras. This is not a drill, and it is not a mere marketing gimmick. We have already seen the launch of the Nikon ZR, the smallest model in the Z Cinema series, featuring the game-changing 12-bit or 3D NE RAW codec built directly from Red's legendary color science. But the leaks indicate this is just the beginning of the synergy. There are massive, highly credible whispers circulating through the Hollywood supply chain about a global shutter Super 35 cinema camera sitting perfectly between a traditional hybrid and a full Red ecosystem. If they drop a true hybrid cinema camera with internal Red RAW color matching and a global shutter at a highly competitive price point, it will completely disrupt and destroy the entire video industry overnight. You get to completely skip the massive Apple tax of buying heavy, power-hungry external ProRes monitors just to get clean high bitrate data. You can just shoot natively straight to your internal CF-Express cards with 15+ stops of dynamic range. Plus, they are actively teasing brand new, dedicated Z-mount cinema lenses to match the new bodies perfectly. They want to aggressively rebuild the Nikon brand as a true Hollywood cinema manufacturer, utilizing Red's massive, established global sales network to push these new hybrids onto major commercial sets and broadcast environments. When you really stop to analyze the raw data of shooting uncompressed Red RAW internally on a compact Nikon hybrid, the workflow implications are absolutely staggering. For solo creators, independent filmmakers, and small production houses, the ability to completely bypass heavy, time-consuming transcoding means you can drag and drop these massive files directly onto a base model Mac Studio and start color grading immediately. The specialized neural engines inside modern Apple Silicon chew through this data effortlessly without a single dropped frame. It is the exact definition of seamless hardware and software integration. Nikon knows that modern creators are demanding lighter rigs, faster turnaround times, and cheaper overall production costs. By potentially delivering an APS-C global shutter cinema camera alongside their full-frame ZR lineup, they are offering an undeniable, mathematically superior value proposition. You get legendary, industry-standard Hollywood color science, surgically sharp Nikon optics, and a sleek, lightweight body that does not require a dedicated team of assistants just to lift and operate on a motorized gimbal setup. The era of Nikon just being a traditional, old-school photography brand for older generations is officially dead and buried. They are coming directly for the cinema video crown, and Sony, Canon, and Blackmagic should be absolutely terrified of what is coming next. My honest opinion about this comprehensive product roadmap is that this is genuinely the most thrilling, disruptive time to be a Nikon shooter in over a decade. They are playing masterclass chess while everyone else is playing checkers, beautifully blending deep retro nostalgia with industry-shattering cinema technology. Do not panic sell your gear. Do not listen to the uneducated internet noise. The future of the Z-mount is incredibly bright, and the value of your system is about to skyrocket. If you liked the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.